Hello there, beautiful artists, and welcome back to another episode of Paint Along with Skye. Today we're going to do a little bit more challenging of a painting. We're going to do a Four Seasons themed tree. So I am going to be using a ruler today. I also have a pencil. I'm going to be using 3 brushes. I have a good coverage brush, a square brush, and a baby brush. I'm going to be using a full spectrum of colors again, as well as white, black, and brown. Now before we apply any colors, we're going to break up our canvas into 4 equal quadrants. I'm using an 8 by 10 canvas, so half of that is 4, and then by 5. You can just go ahead and block that out gently with the pencil and get those quadrants spaced out for yourself for the 4 different seasons. Okay, now starting in the upper right hand quadrant, we are going to create a beautiful blue sky for a nice sunny summer day. And we're going to be starting with a very light blue. And you do want to try to create a straight line separating each of the sections. Keeping the brushstrokes back and forth, blend from light blue to a slightly darker blue. Looking good. Let's add some big puffy white thunderhead clouds. You can do whatever kind of clouds that you like, but the ones that I like to do are this sort of thunderhead shape where there's a lot of curved lines and then there's sort of straight lines at the bottom. And since that blue is wet, it's going to blend a lot with the white as I apply it, so I can come back later and sort of make it a little bit whiter if I'd like. Gonna clean that brush and move on to the next quadrant, which is going to be spring. It's going to be a sunrise. And we're going to create a gradation that goes from light yellow to orange to a sort of peachy pink to purple. Yellow, orange, peachy pink to purple. Again, keeping those brushstrokes going back and forth, creating a clear separation between our quadrants, and keeping those brushstrokes again back and forth. Don't be shy, blend those colors together. I did end up adding a little bit more white onto those clouds. So now we're actually going to flip the whole painting upside down, or is it right side up? You get to decide. And we're going to work on our other 2 quadrants. Going to be sick of saying that word, quadrant. Nighttime, and that's going to be winter, and then autumn, which is going to be sunset. So let's get started with our nighttime winter scene, which is going to be a pretty simple gradation going from purple at the bottom to black at the top, nightfall. We're going to make it kind of snowy, slightly snowy, really frosty looking, really crisp night scene. Move from that dark purple, which you can add a little bit of white and a little bit of black too, so that it has a little bit more coverage power, a little bit more opacity. And you're just going to create a simple gradation from that dark purple to black. And now for that final quadrant, which is going to be sunset or fall, as represented here. And we're going to go from the bottom up here, from hot pink to purple to blue. Since we're having fun today, why not add a little bit of splatters? So I'm going to create a little bit of watered down white for myself, and then with my handy dandy dollar store toothbrush, I'm going to apply some splatters to the night portion of my painting, using my finger and a piece of paper to help the splatters not go where I don't want them to. Using my baby brush, I'm also going to create a full moon here in this nighttime portion of the painting by creating a circle and then filling it in with textured kind of little dabs of brush strokes of paint there, keeping it brighter on one side and then darker on the other side, a little bit of a circular gradient there to create a tiny moon. And this technique is actually easier than it looks, so give it a try. And for some other nice little touches in that nighttime portion of the painting, I'm going to create a little sparkly star, which is sort of like a plus sign cross shape. And then also some snow or stars, kind of maybe a little bit of a snow flurry here and there with either the front or the back of my brush. Time to apply a tree. We're going to start in the winter section, and the tree is going to be done with gray and our baby brushes. I like to start with the brushstroke where the trunk meets the roots, that curve right there. And then each tree is going to have 3 main branches. The first one is going to go almost straight out. Second one is going to come up into the corner. And then the third one is going to go up into the top part. That's making sure that our tree is nice and balanced. Once we have the 3 main branches created, we're going to thicken them up all the way to the division line, therefore the trunk of the tree. Filling it in with that gray. And then from each of the branches, we're going to create sub-branches. And then some of those branches are going to have sub-branches from there. And your tree can look different than mine. You do want it to look the same as the tree that's going to be the mirror image on the bottom, though. Okay, let's get this first nighttime tree filled in. Okay, now, as best as you can, you're going to create a mirror image of that gray tree using a medium brown. Okay, the next step is going to be to add some highlights. So just take a little bit of white and add it to the brown that you have. And you're going to very lightly go through all of those same branches that you just put on the canvas with brown, breaking it up so that it's not just one solid color. And you're going to do the same thing with your gray tree, only you're going to do shadows. So you're going to use a little bit of a very dark gray and break up that medium gray on that side. Looking good, and moving right along, we're actually going to finish up our winter portion of the painting by adding some snow. And I'm going to add a snowy mountain in the background, and I'm also going to add some snow onto my tree. I'm going to do the mountain first, and this mountain is actually also going to be a sort of Four Seasons background. So the winter one is going to be filling it in just with white. And then I'm also going to add some snow on my trees, just kind of on the top parts of each of the branches, and a little bit on the trunk of the tree as well. We are now going to add a mirror image mountain using dark purple in our fall portion of the painting. Okay, I'm going to brighten up my moon and star just a little bit and add just a little bit more white. And then I'm going to flip my painting over and start working on my other two sections. I'm not finished with the fall portion. I'm going to add some really nice autumn colored leaves, but I'm going to let that fully dry for a second before I come back and add the leaves. Now in your left-hand side here, this sunrise portion, you're going to create another tree with that medium brown, the same one that you used in the diagonal section, the sunset area. And you're going to create the same exact tree as best as you can. So if you can remember, I started with that curved line where the trunk meets the roots, and then 3 branches that come out in all different parts of that little rectangle that we've made ourselves. You're going to want to add some highlights now into that tree as well. And then for that final summertime tree, you're going to use a lighter brown. You can add a little bit of yellow into it to make it more of a sort of sandy tan color. And then you're going to add a highlight color that's going to be even lighter than that. Same tree, 4th time, should be getting good at it now. Okay, so we're going to create the mountain ranges and that mirror image for the top part of the painting here as well. I'm going to use a really bright green, which is like a grass green mixed with a little bit of my phthalo. I think I might add a little bit of yellow as well. And that's going to be applied to my summer section of the painting. And then I'm going to take a slightly darker green for that springtime sunrise portion. Okay, looking good. Let's flip this back over and finish the autumn area. Home stretch, you guys, we're doing great. Just gotta put on our greenery or autumn colors or blossoms and a few final touches and we're gonna be done. Comment below if you've made it this far. Comment, I've made it. Okay, so we're gonna use our square brush. And you can kind of play with all the warm colors. I'm going to use an orange first, and then I'm going to add a little bit of light yellow and a sort of more orange red on top of it. And it should blend a little bit and give me a really nice sort of three-color effect. For a lovely finishing touch in that autumn section, I'm going to add a crescent moon, just with white and my baby brush. Lovely. Now let's flip this over again and finish the spring and summer portions. I'm going to add some birds into my summer section, which are just sort of like flat M's. That's always a nice touch and kind of give it that midday feel. In my sunrise section, I'm going to add a little circular red sun. Before we finish today's painting, I do really quick want to mention the Art Club, which is a Facebook group that we would love to have you join. It's an art share and just a community for support from fellow artists of all levels. So we'd love to have you there. There's a link to join pinned to the top of the comments below. Okay, so for our springtime tree, we're going to use our square brush and a nice pink. And we're just going to do the same kind of brush strokes that we did over in the fall section. So using that square brush in all different directions there and sort of overlapping in some areas. I am going to add a highlight color to this, which is just going to be a really light pink with more white. And then I will also do the same kind of thing and finish off the top part of my painting here by applying a bright green with an even lighter green accent color over in the summer section. All right, and here is the finished product. I do hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Make sure to subscribe for new videos twice a week, watercolors on Wednesdays and acrylics on Saturdays. Let me know what you thought of today's painting in the comments section, and if you tried it, I'd love to see a picture of your art in the art club. There's a link to join that in the comments section below. That's all for today. Until next time, stay creative.